One night you lie down and wait. That familiar weight on the mattress. The small thud of pause. The circling before settling. Doesn't come. You look over. He's across the room. Just lying there, watching you for a second, then not. Nothing happened. Nothing you can point to anyway. And yet here you are, alone on the bed, wondering what changed. The question most people land on is, did I do something wrong? Is he upset with me? Does he not want to be around me anymore? Understandable. But it's the wrong question, and not because you're overreacting. It's wrong because you're using a human script to decode behavior that doesn't run on human logic. Male cats don't pull back to send a message. That's not how they're wired. When your cat moves away, he's not saying, "I'm angry with you." He's saying something, but it's something else. And once you know what to actually look for, it's usually far less worrying than your brain's first interpretation. Here's what's actually happening when you worry. Your brain is doing its job. When humans feel avoided, the nervous system automatically reaches for the most familiar explanation. Someone is upset, disappointed, withdrawing. That's how we've learned to read each other, through tone, through proximity, through what's left unsaid. It works pretty well between people. It doesn't work on cats. Applying that framework to a cat is like trying to read a map of one city while you're in a completely different one. The streets look like they should match. They don't. Cats are not social animals in the way we are. They didn't evolve in packs, didn't need to coordinate with others to survive, and didn't develop the same system of constant social signaling that humans and dogs rely on. Their communication runs on space, timing, and proximity, not on expressed emotion. So when a person moves closer, it usually means warmth, connection, wanting contact. Cats have versions of that too. But the absence of it doesn't mean the opposite. A male cat who settles 2 feet away from you, quiet, not touching. He may be completely at ease. He knows where you are. That's enough for him right now. The problem is that completely at ease and actively avoiding you can look identical from across the room. Same posture, same distance. Totally different meaning. Which is why the behavior alone doesn't tell you much. What tells you something is how he's doing it. And what else is happening alongside it. Male cats don't pull back in one single way. That's the part that gets missed. When we're worried, we fixate on the outcome. He's not on the bed. But the outcome is the least useful piece of information here. What matters is the pattern, when it happens, how it happens, and what comes with it. Start with the most basic one. Cats regulate their own internal states, not emotionally the way we do, but something closer to a biological rhythm. There are periods where they want contact, and periods where they need to just exist without it. That shift isn't about you. It's just how they're built. Think about the kind of person who needs an hour of quiet after work before they can really be present with anyone. Not because they're angry. Not because they don't love their family. They're just resetting. Male cats operate on something structurally similar. The biology is different, but the pattern is recognizable. Needing space isn't the same as pulling away. And often, if you watch a little more carefully, he isn't even really pulling away. He left the bed, but he's still in the room. still facing you, still responds when you say his name. That's not avoidance. That's proximity on his own terms. And male cats do that a lot. The connection is there. It just doesn't look like contact. Now, the pattern's worth knowing. Some nights, he leaves around 2 or 3 in the morning, wanders the house, comes back. This one has almost nothing to do with you. Cats are biologically wired to be most active at dawn and dusk. That drive doesn't disappear because they live indoors. When he's moving around at night, his body is doing what it was built to do. It's not restlessness. It's not a mood. Different pattern-y. He stops coming up right after you lie down, or something shifts suddenly after a specific event. A guest visited. Different laundry detergent. New soap. Cats have a sense of smell that picks up on changes most people wouldn't even register. And their sleep space isn't just a location. It's a sensory environment they track continuously. One unfamiliar element can be enough to make them hold off until things feel settled again. The most useful question in this case isn't, does he still like me? It's, what's different right now? Then there's the one that gets misread most. He's not on the bed, but he's right outside the door, or across the room where he can see you. Glances over occasionally. This often isn't distance at all. He knows where you are, and he's choosing to stay within range. For a cat, that's a form of contact. Just not the physical kind. One pattern is genuinely different, though, and it's worth knowing how to recognize it. When he stops coming to bed and also starts avoiding the room entirely. Doesn't respond to feeding time. Not engaging the way he normally would. And this goes on, especially if you notice he's eating less, or he's not grooming himself the way he used to. Those are the signs that veterinary practice actually flags. Not to cause alarm, but because they shouldn't be ignored. Behavioral changes on their own usually resolve as the environment stabilizes. But when they come with physical changes, that's when a health cause needs to be ruled out before anything else. The core point isn't a list of things to memorize. It's this, the same surface behavior, cat not beside you, can come from completely different places. The way to tell them apart isn't to guess at his feelings. It's to look at the full picture of what's happening around the behavior. Do that, and most of the time you'll find he wasn't saying anything negative about you at all. There's one shift in this that's small but actually changes everything. The old question, does he still like me, puts you in the position of waiting for your cat to reassure you. And cats, for all their complexity, are not in the business of reassurance. They'll keep leaving you uncertain as long as that's the question you're asking. The new question is simpler. What does he need right now? That's something you can actually observe. You don't have to feel less or want less. You just have to look through a different lens, one that fits the animal in front of you. When you start doing that, something else shifts too. The male cat who gets written off as cold, difficult, indifferent, usually isn't any of those things. He's just been communicating in a language nobody taught his owner to read. A male cat who settles a few feet away, quiet, glances at you once, then closes his eyes. That might be one of the most comfortable things. He knows how to show you. Not pressed against you, not performing anything, just present in the same space, with no need to be on guard. That's what it looks like when he's okay. Your cat doesn't need to sleep beside you to mean something. And you don't need that to know the relationship is real. Nothing changed between you. What changed is how you're reading him now. If there's a moment where you once misread your cat and later realized it meant something completely different, put it in the comments. Doesn't have to be long. Sometimes just one small observation is enough to help someone else see their own cat a little differently. And if this was useful, pass it along to someone who's been sitting with that same quiet worry. Sometimes what people need isn't comfort, just a better way of looking.